Welcome the Town of DeWitt Planning Board. Today is March 27th. Started. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes? Any modifications, changes, additions, deletions? Motion to approve the minutes.
There's two letters.
Oh, yes, there are two sets of minutes, and to clarify that, we did have a special meeting on Tuesday. Last Tuesday. The date on that one.
19th,
Yes.
18th.
The 18th special meeting on the 18th, as well as the minutes from the 13th.
One at a time.
So, motion to approve the meeting minutes from the 18th. Special meeting, Kathy. Leif, all in favor? Let's move on to the minutes from the 13th. Regular planning board meeting, Kevin, second. A second, all in favor? Great. Thank you. We did not have any work sessions this week. Alright, so first up on the docket, we have the amended PharmaCann Barrel Life multi-tenancy package. Applicant present. Should be too. Is there an applicant here for PharmaCann? Online? Go ahead. Everyone's familiar with the PharmaCann modification,
Yep.
no discussion we need to have around that one. I'm just gonna move ahead with the approval. Need a motion, this board approves the site plan package last dated 2/27/2024. The following findings and conditions on March 14th, 2024, this project was granted site plan approval for modifications to the site and change of use of specific permit. It was also granted due to the cannabis use per the town code. The condition of the approval was that the applicant needed to return to this board for approval of a multi-tenant sign package. The board approved the multi-tenant sign package on August 8th, 2024. The applicant herein seeks modification to that sign package, which were part of a prior site plan approval. The applicant requested and was granted by the zoning board of appeals on March 17th, 2025, a variance allowing a second attached sign on the north elevation, which is considered the same street facade as the south elevation sign where the town of DeWitt code 192-103F. Section 4A allows for one sign per street facade. All conditions and findings in the March 14th, 2024 approval of this board are in full force and effect and unmodified, except as specifically set forth in the revised site plan package set in hearing. Approved, second. Leif, all in favor? Unanimous. Wonderful. The applicant's online, congratulations. Next up, amended Bull and Bear.
You're gone.
Huh?
Yeah.
All right. Give a quick synopsis and then
So you missed the last one, right?
I do.
Mark misunderstood what he could renovate without getting approval. Because there was an existing metal roof on it, he thought he would change these tired old cedar shakes. Put some metal up on it. You guys pointed out to him that that's not kosher. So he came in, I sent a picture in, if you want to show the front facade. You can actually see where the paint cut across here, it's that light gray metal. And since we were coming back in for that, he asked me, especially after this winter. His main entrance to the place has just, the vestibule opens up, cold air blows in. He asked me to show a small little vestibule at the front entrance, which is under the existing canopy. See it right here, you look at a site plan, gonna match the material, same board and batten. Not gonna project out on that at all, and really has no Not even adding square footage, because we're now counting under the porches as interior restaurant space, so. Really, we're not doing any more lighting, we're not doing any more, there wouldn't be any heat in that. It's really just a way to stop.
Any questions?
Changes the drawings that we talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any further comments? I'll make a motion, this board approves the site plan dated 2/17/2025, following findings and conditions. This board approved a site plan for the site dated October 24th, 2024. This plan presents 2 minor modifications for a change in materials and vestibule addition to the entry. Modifications are approved with the condition that, except as specifically modified herein, all findings and conditions of the approval of October 24th, 2024 are in full force and effect and unmodified. Motion to approve. Kathy, Dave, all in favor? Great. Thank you. Sunoco.
Okay, I believe we have 2 items to finish off the review of it. The first one is the lighting plan, the study. Some of the areas within 10 feet of the property line were down into the range of 0.3, 0.2, 0.1 foot candles of spillover beyond. So we're not meeting, go down to the L3. Yes. Basically, along the road, we're varying between those levels of light, and same kind of thing. Adjacent parking lot to the north is there. The creek area, which is overgrown wooded areas in the back, and the bottom down here is along the easement, which is sort of a quasi-public street. So what we have is a very difficult site, and I think because it's an existing site, we have special conditions that can't really be met to the letter of the ordinance. The other issue is up here, just about here, there is a New York State street light, which is putting out way more than the 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 foot candles. And the other issue we have is that the curb and the right of way, this is 6 feet finger to finger. This is a 5 foot walkway. And I have 45-mile-an-hour cars coming within 2 to 3 feet of people on the sidewalk. So I think that it's actually a benefit to have some spillover on that side of the area. Same here, we have a large building and a large parking lot to the north. And this is really illuminating the curb line of the neighbor's parking lot. So we're not really impinging on that property. The rear property line is overgrown woods, field. Nothing's ever going to be built in the creek, on the creek. And we're pretty much on the bottom of that easement is going to always stay there. So basically what I'm asking is approval of the lighting plan, even though we can't meet the exact letter of the ordinance, but we have essentially met the intent of the ordinance.
These are all existing poles.
Yes, the street light is a pole. This is an existing pole. That's a pole. That's an existing pole. This particular one here is a new one that the lighting designer put in in order to give enough light for the cars to go down the driveway. So that is the only new one. And again, it's cut off and we're down in less than a foot candle in that area.
So really the only issue and the only area that we have is in the upper right corner, for the most part.
Not really. I mean, that's going to be the brightest part. Down here, the next street light is the other side of the Americue Credit Union. So, anything that's spilling over onto that sidewalk, you know, is I think even outside the range of the, street light.
But yes, that corner is where it's the highest. It's the highest. Point through it.
And these numbers take into account the existing streetlight that we can't do anything with.
No, that was not part of the study. This is just the existing and new fixtures on the site, what's contributing to what's already there.
You say the spillover is 0.3 foot candles?
Yeah.
Code is 0.1.
That's imperceptible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a rounding error.
Right. Yes. And you spoke with DOT. DOT has no issue with these numbers, right?
No, I think, their comment was that they'd appreciate any additional lighting because it's very dark.
Dangerous.
Okay.
Your comment was something like, make sure that they're not tipped up because that creates glare.
Right. The only other thing that,
Can
just
we
make sure that
the foot candle requirement in the board?
we can accept it as shown. And then the only other issue that was raised today was just the signage.
Yes, we go up a couple of sheets.
This is site directional.
Okay, this is what, DOT wants. They want regular street signs. So that you would have at this point, basically a one-way sign here, a one-way sign here, an exit sign, do not exit, do not enter. So they basically want road signs all the way around. We go down one drawing. What we have proposed,
It takes it a minute.
what we have proposed were little signs that said entrance and exit.
So this is just creating a one-way flow around the site.
Yeah. But that's what we already had gone through, the circulation around the site, and the signs were necessary for that one-way circulation through the site. So it's basically DOT wants big road signs.
Right.
It was set up as a one-way. I had them meet the code for directional signs, which is like 2 square feet taller than 3 feet high. And then DOT said just.
So basically, they have asked for that. I'm revising drawings and sending it back to them, but tonight we just don't have the approval. DOT yet.
Right, but you're doing what they asked.
Yes,
Okay.
I think those are the only two items we need to
I don't know how to get to us.
address.
Is that on the dumpster?
Here, I'll take a screenshot with my name and then screenshot with your name.
If you're not actively speaking online, would you mind muting yourself? Thank you.
So kind of give me your name.
I'm William Pitcher Architect
Thank you.
for the owner of the property.
Can we run through the architect? It's been a while since I've seen it, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's not changing too much, but
We want to start all the way through?
yeah, let's just give a quick overview of the architecture.
Okay, originally this started off as an interior renovation. It was originally two businesses within one building. There was a dividing wall down the center, and this was sort of a fast food takeout, and this was sort of a quick market grocery store kind of thing. The existing building, probably 1960s, 1980s, somewhere in that range. Okay. And so basically, we're doing the interior renovations, pretty much a gut rehab at this point in time. And a lighting plan for the new ceiling. This is the typical layout. We're gonna have the commercial kitchen here, a couple of seating areas here, this is basically grocery store, and the fuel pumps are out here. Let's go down. And the color is corporate Sunoco blue. What we're doing is the existing siding, we're putting on a veneer, concrete stone veneer for the base. And then above that, we're putting on new siding, cement board siding. But the building itself is pretty much staying the same. It's just doing the exterior.
The massing is staying the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we have new colors on the canopy. We have all of things, this is the back entrances,
Canopies are being rebuilt with their.
just being covered with the new color, with the corporate color. The existing structure is good enough.
You have a cross section through, just a typical exterior wall cross section?
It's a stud wall.
Well, for the cladding material, do
It's going to be on the outside of the sheathing.
you have a section?
No, I didn't draw this section,
How are you transitioning from the,
just capping, just the
with
top course.
of stone?
Yeah. It's basically, it's a 4-inch veneer, like a brick veneer.
I'm not sure if that's what it's doing. Is it a water table band continuous, or are you just?
They didn't show that on there. But I mean, you could flash it also.
The material, the transition material between the stone veneer and the cement board siding is a,
I didn't do anything particular, it's just the top course of the veneer. We'll have to work that detail out in the construction.
I'm gonna try going out.
The canopy logos,
Mhm.
do they still, is there any imagery on the canopy?
If we go down to, about 4 or 5,
I think initially they came in with
Yeah.
Sunoco branding on it and then.
they wanted it and that was removed
Yep.
from the canopy.
it is shown further down, so we're gonna.
Yeah, so it has to be modified,
No, it's,
No, keep going.
keep going down a little
Right
bit.
there.
Yeah.
and these are crossed off. Those were things that were deleted. You didn't want the logo on there, so I just crossed off.
Okay, so
So
that's
that's
how
how
you're
you track
tracking.
the revisions,
Okay,
it's shown that they're not on there.
and the same with the one in the upper.
In, yeah, the
right.
upper left corner of each one, you know, it's misleading. This goes back to like, if we look at it in the future, it's very
Well,
misleading.
it's,
The top
because-
left corner of
we'll
each
just-
sheet.
We'll add that no signage is permitted.
okay. Let's go to the next one.
What is the purpose of leaving them on? And just putting an X through the call out?
That particular information is a JPEG from the corporate. I didn't have the access to edit that image. So, and to show that it was deleted, I simply put that deletion on as a revision. We can go past the restrooms. Okay, now this particular part of the project is the worst part of the asphalt. Most of the other asphalt is reasonably good condition. This part is going to be redone. We're adding a new sidewalk here so that we have, basically this is a loading area so that they can load in the two from the rear. And it's also to give us room for the dumpster to get in and get out of the dumpster enclosure. And basically the flow is parking down, out into the street. Either way, the flow from here is through the pumps and out. And basically the current asphalt comes up to the sidewalk. There is no edge of sidewalk. And so we're removing about 4 feet of asphalt and revealing the edge of the sidewalk. So you're gonna have a 4-inch curve along the sidewalk, separating that. Putting in here a new handicap ramp to the entrance doors and to the sidewalk here. Light fixtures, existing, new. We're basically putting downlights on the walls. And under the canopy, we have a series of downlights along the front of the building. Let's go to the next one. That's the sign.
Does not want to come back.
Okay, let's go to planting. Okay, of the various plants, this was a particularly difficult spot. What we had in the zoning code were basically 50-foot oak trees. And we're sitting in a band that's about 12, 15 feet wide along the sidewalk and the property line. And so I'm proposing some very tall, narrow trees for this planting to meet the every 25 feet of trees. The planting here along the other parking lot is going to be several flowering bushes. So it's going to be this towards the neighbor, and the neighbor's parking lot will have those plants. And that's about it for the planting. This is the sidewalk in the back for the loading area.
You do have a sidewalk along the road.
Yeah, that's on the DPW drawings.
With the coordination with the trees, that was the.
Yeah, the sidewalk is actually along the property line here. So the trees are on the grass just inside the property line. And they're wedged between the curb of the pavement and the sidewalk. The fence for the new dumpster fence will just be a vinyl fence. Next one is our lighting. Okay, this is all of the DPW stuff. Basically, they want us to treat this one as if it's a driveway. So it gets a new concrete sidewalk cut into the asphalt. They want to treat this one as if it's a street. So that's just simply a painted crosswalk at that point. So we're going to be putting in the sidewalk along the street curb. We're going to put in here the ramps at each of these. That's an existing ramp there. They want a stop sign, stop bar. All of these arrows basically are, someone asked the question about the flow around the site, how the one-way works. So this diagram here shows all of the site work. This is the typical handicapped. It'll come down to a ramp, tactile, dropped curb, and then either the asphalt or the sidewalk. Okay, next one. These next ones I don't think really do much for you. It's the handicapped, it's the typical DOT stuff. One more. And we have in here.
It will.
We have in here the traffic plan for when they do the curb work and we have to close down the one lane.
The DOT and I would work. Okay,
That's pretty much it.
any further questions? The ginkgo trees, a lot of times the varietals come in, males only, because the females have a fruit that will drop on the sidewalk and stuff. So,
Specify that.
yeah. Good. So we can.
I'm looking up, is there no additional comments?
I think you need to clarify, going back to the stone. If it's not clear on the drawings what you're installing, you can't wait till construction unless you're gonna come back to the board to clarify how you're gonna build the exterior cladding. So I think we need to put that in the minutes
Stipulate at this
today.
point.
Sitting on, orange is thick, what's it sitting on? A wood frame building. Which means the frame is right up to the foundation.
So
What something.
I would just like to see that top band kind of articulated, not just the ending of the stone, which is kind of a coursing. It's just to have a clean line. You know, it could be a precast element with a drip that just kind of carries all the way around.
Yeah, it's the water table that sits on top of the stone.
I mean, we can basically do that, with a concrete block, with a flat block. To kind of match the color of the stone. Or
Yeah, I think we're probably talking the same thing. It's a precast element that typically comes with your stone veneer.
Yeah,
Accessory.
Yeah, I mean, it's a water table cap pitched.
It would have a slope.
yeah, we can do that.
I'm just gonna jump back to the soffits at the front left corner. I mean, according to the pictures, it's destroyed. So I assume you're reframing the subfascias and all that kind of good stuff.
That's an old Google, it's already been rebuilt.
Okay,
The structure's all there. We're just putting, new siding and new veneer on the existing shell.
It's not really an old, just Google though, like in the documents that we were sent, it has them. And it's broken.
The,
This
it's
is,
this area that was
yep,
hit.
yeah, over the entrance.
No, it was the end of the building. Was my understanding,
Is your understanding or you?
because it isn't damaged anymore.
Oh, okay.
Any other comments? Okay. Yeah.
let's stick with
Yeah.
the paper.
There we go. All right, I'm gonna make a motion to approve the site plan last dated 3/3/2025 and as specifically modified as to drawing L1 only dated 3/25/2025. That's the lighting plan that we discussed, with the following findings and conditions.
That's not the lighting plan, that was the,
Might be the directional sign.
the directional.
Oh, sorry,
sign.
the direction, yes, you're right, sorry, the directional signage. That was a mistake.
No, the directional signage is an A sheet. L3 is the lighting plan.
L3 is like, what's L1?
L1 is that,
Oh,
That's
yeah,
the-
L1, yeah, that's the directional sign,
Directional.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, so
Oh, yeah.
we're in there, sorry. This is a refurbishing of a vehicle service station, which is a permitted use in the zoning district. The applicant and board have acknowledged that this is a tight site with an already existing structure. The applicant has worked with the board to redevelop the site and use considering the constraints of the site. This board recommended, the zoning board of appeals granted a variance on November 25th, 2024. To allow for 15 parking spaces on the site where 19 are required by code. This board has reviewed the Onondaga County Planning Board referral of 10/23/2024. Which determined that said referral will have no significant adverse intercommunity or countywide implications. This board has reviewed the SEAF of applicant dated 5/11/2024 and grants a negative secret declaration for this unlisted action. The site plan dated 3/3/2025 was modified to include changes to the directional signage and accordingly. The entry exit scheme for vehicles as requested by the New York State DOT. With the following conditions of no signage shall be permitted on the fuel canopy. And applicant shall add a water table to the top of the stone base to transition between materials. This approval is made with the condition that this approval is for plans and other submitted documents, site plan documents that have been signed by the planning board chairperson. And the applicant requires that all of the work shown be completed by the applicant in order for a certificate of occupancy or compliance to be issued. Any proposed changes, additions, or deletions to the scope of work or materials from the site plan documents are not approved. And are subject to further site plan review pursuant to Town of DeWitt Code Section 192-122. Motion to approve. I'll move. Kevin's got second, all in favor? You can abstain.
Abstain?
Or-
Yeah,
One abstention. Thank you. All right, National Grid.
There's something.
Hi,
How are you?
good, how are you?
Good.
Kathleen Bennett, Bonchnik and King on behalf of National Grid. I also have Jared Russo, Yancy Wells. Jessica Leaves is online. So we're here for two things. We're here for subdivision. We're also here for site plan. The subdivision is just to combine the parcels. The site plan, I believe we've satisfied everything that the board has asked for. We've added additional plantings. We modified the fence. We included the fence specifications in the plans. I believe the DBS plans and the EN plans match now. We also have our wetlands permit from DEC. We've added additional plantings that were requested by DEC. We've added no mow signs that were requested by DEC. We've worked with Eric to make sure that those signs would be compliant with the town's code. We've modified the driveway as requested by DOT. Stormwater is good to go, as I understand it from the engineers, and happy to entertain any questions.
The fence detail, I had trouble figuring out which, drawing, it was recently updated, right?
It's on the for the cases of design that we asked for.
Yeah, is it looking for this one? Is that the
Well, that's
last one?
Well, that's a manufacturer's detail.
Okay,
If we go back to the site, I think it was called out on the site plan.
Yes.
Cases of design,
okay.
right, so.
Impact, oh,
And that was a recent,
it's called impasse.
Yeah, I think the spec sheet hasn't changed at all, it's just called out on
Right,
identified. on the
right,
site
it needed to
plan
be
now.
called out on the site plan and we made that change.
Yeah, if you go down to page 12, it's on page 12, the overall layout. At the bottom right corner, drawing page 12,
That's two fence, height, foot, color.
right
black.
there, right there, right there.
Sorry, and that's James Coffey. I didn't realize he was online.
And then they can provide the cut sheet behind it. With the drawings, but it's also.
well, it's,
Right on that page there, about mid right.
Yes, yep, the cloud is, but that matches up with the cut sheet product.
Correct.
Yes, and the most recent cut sheet that we submitted, we took off the references to all of the other, so it would be the same.
More questions?
So it sounds like the DEC process is faster than anticipated, like it's moving. Got it. Yeah, you're just-
Yeah, we got the permit.
We're still in projects.
So-
They also weren't impacting, it was the wetland buffer and you guys got your permit in pretty quickly and. We're not sure.
I did mention it to a couple of applicants and they're like, what? No, I'm like.
It did take almost a year to get the permit.
Well, you knew there was wetlands there, so you guys were already working
Okay, so
with them, it
that's-
wasn't like,
Yes.
oh, hey, you need to submit this.
You had the permit application in.
Yes, prior, yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
They were just waiting for this board to do the seeker really to complete that permit process, so.
Okay. I've got a little bit to read here, so. There are no other comments? Okay, a little bit of background. The site plan application is a proposal by National Grid for the installation of a natural gas pipeline, PIG. Receiving station located at 6434 Colmer Road, Town of DeWitt, Onondaga County. Installation of PIG receiver will allow for the internal cleaning and internal inspection of existing natural gas pipeline. Approximately 20,400 square feet. The gravel pad will be located within the 100-foot adjacent area associated with filed delineated wetlands showing connectivity to FWW SYE 7. Project involves approximately 2,544 square feet of allow delineated wetlands to be temporarily matted during construction. Project also involves re-subdivision of land being an adjustment of lot lines to allow for a single lot for the project. Secret. Town of DeWitt Planning Board declared the actions with respect to subdivision and site plan unlisted action pursuant to secret. And it's October 10th, 2024 regularly held planning board meeting, and also declared its intent to act as lead agency. At its March 13th, 2025 regular meeting, planning board determined that the subdivision and site plan actions be granted a negative secret declaration, finding that the actions will cause no significant environmental impacts. New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, DEC. In its secret findings of March 13th, 2025, the board reflected the impact of new 2025 DEC regulations on this project and determined the following. A DEC permit will be required to complete the development of the project. Because any impacts to wetlands can and will be required to be mitigated, this board finds any potential impact to wetland can be adequately addressed. Accordingly, for this secret determination, the impacts on surface water are determined to be no or small impact. The applicant has now presented a permit under the environmental conservation law, DEC permit, effective 3/21/2025. Accordingly, any conditions in the secret findings on this matter are considered met, and any conditions of DEC permits are conditions of this approval. Now, with respect to the subdivision approval, we'll do these together. Subdivision map, last dated 12/19/2024, made by Jeremy Sweeney LLS, is approved with the following findings and conditions. This is a simple subdivision. Or simple division under the code, and no new lots are created. This involves the removal of a lot line to create one single lot. The lot line movement accommodates a public utility as contemplated on this site. Accordingly, and in light of the above, this board waives public hearing requirement for subdivision as permitted by the code where there are no new lots created and there is no public interest in this lot line adjustment. The negative secret declaration of this board and the subdivision dated March 13th, 2025 is incorporated by reference herein. This board has reviewed the Onondaga County Planning Board resolution dated 10/23/2024, which determined that the action will have no significant adverse intercommunity or countywide implications. Applicant must file the subdivision map with the Onondaga County Clerk's Office in accordance with the rules of Onondaga County and provide a copy of the stamp filed map with the County's Department of Planning and Zoning. All findings and conditions as set forth in this resolution incorporated by reference subdivision approval. And with respect to the site plan approval, planning board, the town of DeWitt approves the site plan and last dated 3/21/2025. Together, landscaping and erosion plan dated 1/9/2024. 25, thank you. Grade plan dated April 15th, 2024. Last revised January 7th, 2025, with the further findings and conditions. This board has reviewed the Onondaga County Planning Board referral of 10/23/2024, which offered the following modifications addressed as follows. Matter of the obtaining of appropriate permits for DEC has been met. The applicant is required to coordinate Collimer Road, New York State Route 298, access plans with the New York State Department of Transportation. Any mitigation required by the department is a conditional approval.
Is a condition of
This
this.
is a condition of approval. This one's got like 3 pages. The applicant must contact the New York State Department of Transportation to coordinate any right-of-way plans which may be subject to work permit, and mitigation required by the department is a condition of approval. A condition of site plan approval is that the subdivision map must be filed with the Onondaga County Clerk's Office in accordance with this resolution. Building permits may be issued for the site plan improvements in accordance with the site plan approval and any other applicable regulations for issuance of same. And with the condition that no certificate of occupancy will be issued until proof is provided to the Department of Planning and Zoning that the subdivision map has been filed, as well as the easement document approved as part of the subdivision approval hearing.
Yeah.
We'll go easy. At least. Strike the easement. A further condition of this approval is for plans and other submitted documents, site plan documents that have been signed by the planning board chairperson and the applicant, requires that all of the work shown be completed by the applicant in order for a certificate of occupancy or compliance to be issued. Any proposed changes, additions, or deletions to the scope of work or materials from the site plan documents are not approved and are subject to further site plan review pursuant to Town Code Section 192-2. All further findings and conditions of this resolution are incorporated by reference in this site plan approval and are part of the approval. Motion to approve. Wait, second, any, all in favor? Great.
Thank you. Thank you. I have subdivision plat that can be signed. Can I just leave them good? And then you let me know, or I can have them off.
Great.
Okay. Thank you. They don't do the building.
I did mention it to Derek today,
Okay.
he is looking at it, he was busy today, but I wouldn't be surprised if he emails you back.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay. Next up, First Deep Clubhouse Edition. Thank you.
Hello again.
Welcome back.
So I know Peter gave everybody a little sheet kind of explaining what the first T is, but does everyone know roughly what the first T program is? So a few years back, the first T took over the property and had the outdoor golfing. They found that they needed on rainy days, expanding their seasons. They wanted to put an addition on to get some classroom spaces. And we, at the time, we built this classroom, and that was more of a classroom, more of a conference room / classroom. It's worked amazing. The program has grown tremendously. And at this point, they have an indoor simulator they use for rainy days. They needed a space to have a second indoor simulator and another classroom. The population has grown to the point where they need to have more space. Not really trying to bring in more people, it's trying to accommodate the people they currently have. And so we put an addition on the back. It kind of matches the roof lines, but it's a little bit. This one has a gable roof here with a little shed coming off on that side. Then there's this gable roof running 90 degrees. For this one, the gable roof runs the same as the front portion, but this is more of a shed roof on this side and the gable there, so it shifts just a little bit, but the materials are gonna be the same, clapboard siding, it's gonna be painted the same roofing. It's same scale to the whole structure. And it really won't even notice the difference. You won't be able to tell really what's an addition, what's not. So that's where we're looking for that. I know.
Go to the architectural.
Yeah.
It's how tight do you get up to the?
About almost 8 feet off the edge. And there's just the guardrails and some boulders and stuff that are along there that really kind of stop it.
We'd like to advance it up, but it just require a retaining wall.
And that's what, because of the way the slope of the land is, that's what caused it to kind of have that shift. But you can see this line comes straight across and this actually lines with that, but it's, the roof pitches are slightly different.
So when we're looking at this, we should probably have to have you modify
Yep.
this one.
So this is the classroom, this is the addition, this is all the existing building.
Can we talk all of our architect hats now?
Yeah.
Something's wrong on the left hand side.
Well, can you graphically?
Oh, actually, no, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not.
That's inboard, because that's the open porch.
There is. No, it's not.
It's not?
No, there's a storage room that goes out there.
But the roof doesn't go, I mean, oh, let me back up there.
Yeah.
On the first part, just can you just graphically so that it's clear
Yeah, what's new?
what's existing, so making new darker, make the
Yeah, yeah.
existing lighter, just so that it
That's all
really,
the roofs.
It's
you know, shows
PDFs, the line weights get messed
Yeah.
up, but I can grade.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind. The bottom right, we've got there's that extra set of double windows there. Which is underneath the porch. So it doesn't
That
actually
doesn't-
exist like,
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is the same on the other side.
Yeah,
Top left.
you're just over to the left too far.
Yeah, top left, bottom right, those two.
But
Those two don't-
you're not proposing to infill that porch facing the driving range, correct?
that is,
No,
it doesn't go to there, no, it's,
Actually,
I think, yeah,
back.
let's go back, so.
I'll be honest. I didn't look at the existing, it was from a long time ago,
Yeah.
the addition on it.
When we're looking at, we just.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I
It's
can-
right,
I can speak to that.
You're showing the posts along there for the.
Yep.
You know, just little things like that, but the one that we really noticed was just the one on the right.
Yep.
So that it's not showing. But. But you're matching the eve line, you're matching the ridge lines.
In the exact, and just on the left-hand side, that ridge line on the left-hand gable is lower than the ridge of the cross gable.
Okay,
Just look at the photo,
Yeah.
aerial photo going, wait a second,
Yeah.
mine's off.
that may have.
Yeah.
Gotten built different.
But you're gonna match the same pitches, right? So that
Yes.
They're all. That ridge line is gonna be the same. Right and left of the center gable.
I checked that.
They're the same, but they're
It's 7,
shifted.
12, and some of them are 8, 12.
So do I have a roof plan here?
I know.
So this is the existing ridge.
Yeah, yeah.
That's that old addition with the cross ridge, but this new addition's ridge is here.
Yep.
So like I said, it's kind of mirrored,
The pitches.
but the
will be
pitches are the same.
Right?
Yeah, so there should be, these are 7/12. Actually, this was 8/12. So it was slightly different, that's right. I was trying to keep the ridge,
We're trying to keep the eve line.
it got wide, no, this is wider.
You're trying
So
to.
I was trying to keep that,
Yeah.
trying to keep that ridge lower.
Yeah.
That's why I had to shift it down. If I go to 8/12, it's gonna be higher than
It'll be
the,
higher than this other.
Or you'll have to push down on the E lines.
right, but they need the 10 foot headroom for the indoor driving range.
Oh, no, that's significant, right?
No.
Okay. Materials all match, windows will match. Yeah, any of the lighting on the building, I think I saw one wall package
We're doing, yes, I'm sorry. We're just doing an emergency, just a
over the door.
light over the door, heating for egress.
And so the other thing that we'll just wanna talk about certainly site wise, the fact that we are adding an addition here, but recognizing. It's not, we're not adding additional people.
So I think we have 16,
It should be 19
19.
required parking spaces with this addition. We currently have 22 total, 20 standard and 2 ADA
So you're over parked.
by 3 spaces, yes, existing.
I'm just, can I just interject something? There's 2 groups that I really want to take care of. Our first heat programs for kids 4 through 17. We also have, with the closure of Liverpool Country Club, we've adopted 3 groups from veterans and active military, and we also have the Special Olympics. They're not young people, they're athletes primarily with Down syndrome. And I want to invite them inside when the weather's inclement and have longer seasons than what they have now, just being sort of forced to being outside because of, so they're already there and they're already parked, and but we want to have them have the quality of the indoors conference and class and the chipping, putting and the simulators.
So based on the use in the building, you need 19 and you have 22.
Yeah.
So
We're good there.
we're good there.
Yeah. They're already parking in the grass strip we identified,
Yeah.
the other day, so. Just like along the side, yeah, so.
So. Okay, do we have any other?
No, I think visually, the drawings just,
Yeah. they need-
yeah, just needed to be cleaned up a little, so it was easier for us to know what you were doing this time.
You think that the new compressor unit, condenser units that are shown on the plan, are they gonna be visible?
We hire them with, well, we hire them with landscaping, basically. Is that what your question was, Doug?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where they-
Also, the landscaping will be moved out to the building, which is there with boulders, just 7 or 8 large boulders and some landscaping that abuts the, and we'll do the same.
And will they have the site plan on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the units will have to be.
Pushed over a little bit.
Yeah, they'll have to be relocated.
No, 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 yeah, you gotta go to the other.
We gotta go to the site plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this top, excuse me, Jason. There.
Well, you can see the well, on the well and runs through.
Yeah, so those will end up probably just getting swung, either kept right there or swung right around the corner here. Remember, this is a really, we can landscape it, but this is also a pretty steep drive, so you're not gonna really see it in that area.
I think as long as we cut it off and make it so it becomes.
And none of that can be seen from the road.
Yeah.
So.
So with respect to the DEC delineation, can we talk about that briefly?
We had our group go out and walk it just earlier this month, the wetland over in this area, if we pan to the right. Just to do a site walk over and reconnaissance here. And then this line represents our 100-foot buffer. So we are outside that.
Yeah, we have no work inside the 100 foot.
Correct.
No.
So the assessment that they're putting together for DEC, can we get a copy of that?
Sure, yeah.
So what's the procedure here? Is this gonna need
Well, I
your
think,
review or not, because we're not touching anything,
Right.
doing anything in the buffer?
It has to go to DEC.
So it has to go to
but
DEC.
We don't necessarily.
I think we have a language similar, we did for the, we just did a couple,
Right.
yeah, where we're like, hey, just, if there's a problem,
You gotta come
we
back.
can come back, but if we don't think there is one.
Any other questions, comments?
No.
Thoughts? So. Update the drawings, the next deadlines.
Okay.
April 10th.
April 10th.
April 10th. So, by April 10th, have your next set in. I mean,
Well, what's our county?
No, there's no issue here.
there's no issues, so it should be pretty straightforward at the next meeting,
Thank you.
all right?
I appreciate it.
I
Thanks.
say next meeting, 2 meetings, right?
Yeah, the 24th.
Your next meeting.
Did it go to county?
Yes. On for the 9th.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and then the last. All right, the last item that we have. Thank you, thank you. You're all handed some language for multi-tenants, rear and side door identification. This is something that the planning department, we talked a little bit about it on Tuesday morning. The planning department is looking for.
Are we still on your recording?
Yeah. Yep. For feedback from us on any of this language. I know it just came out this afternoon, so. I would ask everybody just kind of give it a read over, provide any feedback. Day or two. But really it is simply for identification on rear and side delivery doors.
Just to not consider it signage.
Right.
If they're saying just,
Yeah,
Receiving,
Yeah,
deliveries, and the
like-
name of the company,
Right.
plain
It's almost like,
text.
I was over at the Pet Smart is and there, and I was driving by, I had to find a suite there, and the signage is up, but as you go along, just over the doors is the little suite numbers. Suite 190, suite 180, suite 170, I'm like going, that's exactly what this is.
Right.
so this would be on like the rear, the sides of the building.
Yep.
This came up with the old Plato's Closet. We're looking at that for building permit for a business that's moving in and they want to identify that door in the back for deliveries. But, we had some confusion about how to consider it. It's not a window sign or building sign, not a directional sign, because it's not on a post, really the way our directional sign code is written, makes it sound like it's signage that's on a post, so it didn't really seem to fit in anywhere, and this is pretty standard, so we thought if we, take all the logos off, just make it generic, and then it would be the same for all the businesses in the town that need to do this, and
This will not impact the square footage of the building.
no, it wouldn't be a sign.
Right.
It's basically just like instructional text. But it would be approved as part of the building permit.
And if there's rules that are controlled by height stuff, so.
Yep, I mean, it's got
Right.
2 inch
Yeah.
rectangle
Can't be more than
logos.
3 feet tall, so you have to be in the middle of the door. If it's
That or
directional,
shut that
if it's not on the window,
Right.
yeah.
Yes, it didn't really seem to fit into anything currently in the code and
So
any of the sign code.
what if they, so can I ask a question? Okay, so what if they, so what if they wanna say Dick's delivery door, like,
Yes, but it can't be a logo, so
Right.
it all can
So
only
it
be
can
two, so it should, and it has to identify where it is, if it's a building that has 2 doors for 2 different businesses, we
Yeah.
wanted to identify, we just don't want it to be signage.
Yeah.
So it can't use logos, or just the standard.
right, it can only be like a standard font. Do we, are we
Right.
limiting the square footage of it, the sign, or is that
The
like?
text size is limited
Yeah.
to outside and it either white or black,
Because that's a white one.
just very
So,
basic.
limited to-
Still might be too small for some of them, I think, like, they wanna be able to, delivery drivers wanna be able to see
As
it
you
from
drive
the
to the
truck.
truck, yeah.
Yeah, so we just might wanna consider a 3 inch,
3 inch might be the right.
3 inch, 4 inch.
That's, I was able to read, I was looking at them when I drove through that center and I go, and there's a 3 inch letter.
That's
And they're
Reason.
they're
Yeah, 2
reasonable
inches,
if you're
just
driving
double
looking for
this.
something, you
So
could
2
read it
inches
without
kinda
killing
small.
somebody trying to stop to read it.
But is this say delivery and receiving are the only words that you're gonna accept? What if we make it like, that's where the employees walk in or something? Could it say, just trying to clarify, like if it's just a sign identifying something, so what if it
Well, it's
says,
not a sign.
well, what if it's just text identifying something? So the backside of, the only place I can think of that we drive past is the backside of Fayetteville Commons or whatever everybody calls it, like on the backside where Stickley is. And they have the white letters on the doors, and same in Widewaters, I've seen them over there. And some of them just say like Pottery Barn, like, and it just says the name because somebody might be coming to that store
Right.
from the back to deliver something, but they don't say receiving. They say, it just says Pottery Barn, like to let them know that that's that door.
Employees
Can we
only.
say,
Employees only,
The-
like it could say that, or,
if we can use 3 words here, maybe a suggestion would be delivery, receiving, employees, or similar use, right? So the department just, like we're not gonna.
Because many of the doors
Yeah.
you see,
I wanted to make it more
Recycling.
broad,
Yeah,
yeah.
right, there's a whole litany of things that people put on.
Like
there.
utility room,
Yeah.
water
Use it,
meter room.
yeah.
Water meter room,
Yeah, exactly, like electrical.
Yeah,
Like,
electrical, right.
Yeah, yeah, like,
We can give
and the list goes on and on.
Planning
Exactly.
department to
I think.
You know, as long as the letters are no larger than 3 inches, they're black, they're white, they're standard.
Yeah, no images, no
No
branding,
logos,
no,
they're identifying the specific use of the door.
I think then you also need to edit 2C, it says 1 delivery door per tenant.
yeah,
I think, you know, if you got double doors or a large tenant's got multiple doors, I think just
yeah.
some discretion, give yourself some discretion there.
When we talked about this the last time, I thought we said they could use their name.
Yes.
Yeah,
But not
Yeah.
alone,
But yeah,
because they've got a
yeah,
multi-tenant
so it
building.
could say like,
But they're not gonna do
Dick's.
it in their logo
Yeah.
fonts and all that, it's very.
Right.
Or even imagine
Say
if
to
you-
the, in the purpose that it's to
Comment.
make it, it's to simply, you know, I think.
Simply, yeah, let's do it, we're simply identifying.
so do you think that instead of it saying to identify an entry door to a tenant space, just say do we use man door still, like a man door? And
Well, it might not.
because it might not be.
Sure.
Service door, like
Service. type door, yeah.
service door to architects is like
Yeah.
a panel, not a door. So I don't.
How about if we call it a service,
Entry?
service.
Utility entry.
Well, it's not.
It is an entry, so that's.
Well, I mean, I
A
think
service type
How
door.
about
The word
secondary?
entry.
Secondary, yes,
Secondary door?
secondary.
Secondary,
Yes,
because there's everything main at the front, this is like not their main entrance.
And then you have it in there that it's not for like, for customer entrances.
Yeah, you can
Another
keep
spot.
that part in there.
Right.
Yeah, I like that part.
A secondary door, not a customer entrance.
Yeah, cause it might not have to be an entry door, because
How
like
about
if it's a mechanical
for,
room, it would be
yeah.
considered entry.
Uses such as delivery. Employee,
Maintenance.
employees,
Utility,
maintenance,
Utility. Et cetera.
utilities.
Et cetera.
Yes.
Et cetera.
Yes, so that leads to open interpretation, right?
right. But
You
just
know, box yourself. In architects and engineers don't work for the center, but this is a good way.
If it's possible to vote on this tonight, if you're okay with it, and letting Jamie and I like.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna vote, it's
Okay.
just, hey, you've come to us
Yeah.
with the request for our input.
Yeah.
And we
Now
think
it's
it's
an
a great idea.
administrative
Yeah.
procedure.
Okay, so if Jamie and I can finish it up tomorrow and get the
Yeah.
text, because we do have a building permit waiting on this.
Do we have to update county code for this or not?
Well, I would say that you could even
No,
finish
it's
off
not
that one,
signage, policy.
It's a procedure.
but that one that we did, you could approve that. You could approve that and say, you know, and due to this, we made a clarification and it will be published soon. Like, I think you could give him that, so you don't have to rush through this, so we would have a time to like maybe look at it once more, just to make some clarifications, but just say, you know, we discussed it in the planning board meeting, this is, you know, not signage, this is text on a door that we think doesn't need to go for a permit and move forward, and because of that, we're making a clarification, you know, thank you for working with us, kind of thing. Right, because we're not giving them an approval, we're just kind of telling them,
We don't need, this is
Go
a
ahead.
policy procedure.
yeah,
And we don't need to approve it.
just so then you don't feel like you're holding him up at all, and you could just send away.
Good,
Thank you.
any other business? Kevin? Great.
You gotta say the words, Kelly.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
Kathy seconds.
Takes me a minute.
That's his,
Unanimous.
that's his, sign language over there. This means.
Sign language isn't allowed.